The housing market is going to crash. At least that's what everyone on social media has been saying for the last 4 years, and eventually maybe they will get it right. It seems as though everywhere you look online, you can find plenty of people thinking that the market's going to crash, the rates will come down, and so much more. Today, I want to walk you through a few different scenarios and really get into what we are thinking about the future of real estate, both nationally and more so locally here in Coastal Delaware. If you are new here, my name is Matt Lunden. I'm a local real estate agent here in Coastal Delaware. We put out content each and every week discussing all things Coastal Delaware, the real estate market here, and living here. So if you want to see more of that, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And then if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate here in Coastal Delaware, that's what we help you with every single day. And we love hearing from you guys here on the channel. So all my information is going to be down below in the description and here on the screen. If we can help in absolutely any way, don't hesitate to reach out. Now let's get back to the market crash. So if you've spent any time on social media in the last 4 years, you may have realized that you don't really need to scroll very far to find many people talking about how they think the real estate market's going to collapse, the bubble's going to burst, and so much more. While I do agree that affordability is a much larger concern and issue right now than it was prior to 2020, I think we have a long way to go before we see a huge market failure, at least in Coastal Delaware. My prediction is based around just a few different data points, and I don't see any of them changing anytime soon. So let's take a look at what those are and how it may impact really what we're seeing here in the market. The first one, and probably the biggest, the high cost of our neighboring states in comparison to Delaware's relatively low cost of living. This, again, arguably the largest reason why people choose to relocate to Delaware, and it has always been one of the biggest reasons. That has not changed recently. It's not just become a thing. It's been that way for a very long time. In comparison to our neighboring states, Delaware's got a very affordable cost of living. So Delaware's absence of sales tax and the fact that we are the 6th lowest property tax state in the country have made us a very popular relocation destination among retirees for a very long time. However, the change in working conditions that we saw from COVID and everything that happened in 2020, with many companies switching to that fully remote work, it's really caused a spike in working people now also making the move here. So we've seen many people in the post-COVID workforce now making the decision to relocate to Delaware in an effort to save on their living expenses, again, in comparison to where they are currently living, which in a lot of our surrounding states is much more expensive than it is here in Delaware. So as long as those areas remain a lot more expensive, New York and New Jersey are some of the higher taxed and higher cost states across the entire country. So for those people, it's an easy decision to, as long as they're not tied to a job or something else anymore, to just pick up and move down here to Delaware, and they save, in a lot of cases, upwards of $15,000 per year just in taxes alone. As long as our neighboring states continue to be high cost, again, we're going to see a lot more people, continue to move to the area. A lot of those people have decided that, this just isn't as good as we thought it was going to be. Let's move somewhere else. So we're seeing a lot of people relocate from Florida back up here to Delaware. Again, just because of the increase in the cost of living, particularly in Florida with the homeowners insurance costs going through the roof and many companies pulling out of the state completely. Number two, and again, this has not changed in the recent years. This has always been a thing, but our popularity as a vacation destination. Many people love coming to Coastal Delaware for vacation, and the beaches draw in just over 5 million visitors a year. However, that may not sound like a big number depending on what state you're currently in, but for Delaware, we just crossed 1 million residents like 2 years ago. So for 5 million people to come here each year to visit, that's obviously a massive number of visitors in comparison to our annual population. The popularity as a vacation destination leads to many people buying either rental properties, second homes, that kind of stuff to use throughout the beach communities and throughout our beach towns. And those tourism numbers have been steadily increasing throughout the years. So it's fair to assume that we will continue to see those people with the means to do so, continue buying beach homes, continue buying rental properties. Again, the cost difference for many is a major factor, as we see a lot of people who, maybe they vacationed at the Jersey Shore for a while, and now they're looking at the cost of that, and they're just saying, hey, it's just not worth it anymore. Let's just drive south and go to Delaware. So as the area has grown in popularity, the beaches are not really our only draw anymore. And again, it's just created more eyes on the area and more potential buyers in the area because we are starting to expand through, some different means of tourism. people visit for, we've got a number of different bicycle trails, our state park system, we've got craft breweries going in left and right. So, we're seeing a lot more growth across the area, which is leading to a wider variety of tourism instead of just those beaches like we may have seen it previously. So again, while the beaches haven't really changed in popularity, obviously, more people have been coming down here because we do have a wider variety of things to do. Number 3 on the list, and one that I hear pretty often, is that people choose to come to southern Delaware in particular because of our milder winter climate. While northern Delaware certainly gets a little bit more snow than we do here, we see significantly fewer storms in southern Delaware. Again, I'm not a meteorologist by any means, but the surrounding salt water keeps the air a little bit warmer, and unless a snowstorm comes down from the north, they often turn to rain by the time they get to us. We've got the Chesapeake Bay on one side and then the Delaware Bay and Atlantic Ocean on the east side. So we are surrounded by salt water. So not only does it help mitigate storms, but it also keeps our climate a little bit warmer throughout the winter. Again, certainly more so than other areas north of us or those that are higher in elevation. We are pretty close to sea level here. The mild winter weather is attractive to those who are tired of having to deal with multiple feet of snow. So one of the questions that I often get is, hey, do I need to bring my snowblower with me? You certainly can. I'm not going to tell you not to, because the year that I tell you not to is the year we're going to get some crazy freak storm that we get dumped on. But it is nice to know that you're likely not going to be buried in snow here in coastal Delaware. Again, the thought of being just a short drive back to those people's home states where they do get a lot of snow while not having to be buried in it themselves definitely puts Delaware on the map for many considering relocating out of their current state. The 4th item that we're going to touch on today is our proximity to many major metropolitan areas. So New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, all of those are under 3.5 hours from coastal Delaware. So it makes it an attractive proposition for a lot of people who want the lifestyle of being close to the beach, lower cost of living and all that kind of stuff, but you still need to be close to those major metropolitan areas for work, travel, entertainment, whatever it may be. And while we do lack some of the conveniences those major cities provide, being just a short distance from them gives us the ability to take a quick weekend trip or, something similar without feeling like it's a major undertaking where you have to fly somewhere or anything else. So while I do personally feel the effects of inflation and affordability, believe me, it's not lost on me. And I know that many people are definitely struggling with the cost of living. I think it's going to be a long time before we see a housing market failure here in coastal Delaware. Now, I know what someone's going to say, so I'm just going to head it off before it hits the comments. But Matt, when we're looking online, I see houses with price reductions. And you're right. There are homes that have reduced their prices. But many of the homes that have reduced their prices are likely either a seller or an agent that decided to list them high to start with just to see what would happen or to take a chance at a certain price. Homes that are priced in line with the recently sold comparables in their neighborhood are selling quickly. And many times right now, they're selling with multiple offers. Now, how does all this play into the potential market crash on a national level? Currently, there are no major metro areas that are seeing prices decline. It's the first time we've seen that since 2022, despite the 7.5% interest rates. So unless we see a larger economic failure, whether that be, stock market crash or inflation simply gets even more out of control than it currently is, and the Fed just can't mitigate it at all, or they can't slow it down, I don't think we're going to see a countrywide failure or housing crash at any time soon. The people feeling the biggest impact right now are certainly the first-time home buyers, and I really do feel for them. However, I don't see things improving for them anytime soon because there is still so many people that are buying despite the interest rates, and there is so much demand. I'm curious to know what you think. Do you think we're going to see a housing market crash? Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree with what I've said? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments, what you're thinking, what you're seeing if you aren't here in coastal Delaware, or if you have some other experience. We hope you found some value in today's video. If you did, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. And then again, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate here in coastal Delaware, me and my team love hearing from you guys here on the channel, and we would absolutely love to be your real estate resource of choice. So all my contact information is going to be down below in the description and right here on the screen. If we can help in absolutely any way, don't hesitate to reach out. We hope to see you next time. Peace.